Alright, motherfuckers, this is Master Marks, and I'm coming back with another motherfucking goddamn long sick as fuck video. Now shout out to the AEW pack smokers. I'm in this bitch sick as a motherfucker, and I am gonna have to record a video today, just because I told you I was gonna fucking record a video. Today's video is simply titled "Women's Wrestling is Boring." Shit's fucking boring, yo. Like, this shit's boring. It's boring. That shit is boring as hell. Like, back in the day, that shit used to be interesting because, of course, you had those special types of matches. You had bra and panties matches. You had pussy on the pole matches. You had putting in pussy matches. You had ass and titties matches. You had fucking Playboy Bunny matches, fucking evening gown matches. All different types of fucking matches. And now you simply just have Hurricane Rana matches. Tope Suicito matches. Who's the biggest jobber of all the fucking jobbers? I mean, there are interesting females in the wrestling business, but let's be honest. Women's wrestling is boring as fuck. It's boring. The storylines be mid. The charisma be mid. The mic talking be mid. I mean, there's a couple people. Charlotte, decent. Mandy Rose, decent. You know. Nikita Lyons is hurt again. I don't know what the fuck is going to be the outcome for that. She stays hurt a lot. She needs to just take a whole year off and just for really, like, I don't say for really. She needs to, I like that word. She for really needs to take a year off to try to, like, heal that knee or do something, because that shit ain't cutting. And I mean, you had storylines back in the day, like the whole Tori Wilson, and I think it was Dawn Marie, where Dawn Marie was fucking with Tori Wilson's dad. You had that storyline. You had the shit with Sable. You had the shit with Trish and Mickie James. You had Trish and Lita. Like, you had the Chris Jericho and Christian storyline. Like, you had a lot of decent storylines for females back in the day. You had the Chyna and fucking Eddie Guerrero storyline. You had a lot of fucking decent storylines. I mean, even the Lita pregnancy storyline was actually pretty decent. But now, women's wrestling is just as boring as fuck. I'm ready for the shit with Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair to fucking end. And if I do sound a little shitty today, AEW pack smokers, I'm sick as a bitch. So, hey, shout out to the motherfuckers in the live chat and all the motherfuckers watching the video. But let's be really honest. Women's wrestling is fucking boring, bro. Like, this is boring. This shit is fucking boring. And to be honest with you, it started to get boring, I guess, when everything became PG and women were not allowed to be sexy anymore. I mean, even back in the day with Layla, what was her name? Layla and fucking Michelle McCool, at least they were still able to be sexy. Now, sex appeal is not a part of it. The closest we get right now is Scarlett Bordeaux's titties being out 24/7. That's pretty much it. Like, I mean, they still dress sexy, but they don't do, like, I don't know. You would be surprised, because feminists, when feminists want women to, like, take control of their power and be sexy and be attractive on TV, I mean, I don't know. Women's wrestling is fucking boring. Like, and motherfuckers complain about how they don't get a lot of TV time. Well, to be honest with you, there aren't a lot of characters that are worth it. The ones that are important are on there. I mean, I'm not a Becky Lynch fan, but to people, she's important. Alexa Bliss, important. Bianca Belair, important. Charlotte Flair, important. Dana Brooke, no offense to Dana Brooke, because she's fine as hell. She's pretty decent. She has a little bit of charisma, but not important. I'm sorry. I hate to be really brutally honest about it, but I'm sorry. She's not important. I mean, you got Rhea Ripley, you know. The whole thing with Rhea Ripley is they got to come to a conclusion that she's not fucking Chyna. She's not going to be Chyna. Why do they feel like she has to be China? She doesn't. She can be Rhea Ripley. She don't got to be China. She don't have to beat up men and do all the extra shit. Like, she can be dominant in the women's division. So I really don't know what Triple H is going to do with that. But to be really fucking honest, women's wrestling is boring, and there are so many things that I'd rather do. I'd rather stay my ass at fucking work than watch women's wrestling. I'd rather watch paint dry on the wall than motherfucking watch women's wrestling. I'm not gonna put rather watching AEW because that's impossible. It's impossible to watch fucking AEW. I'm surprised AEW is still on the television because let's just be honest. MJF, what the fuck is MJF doing? What has he done? It's supposed to be like he's supposed to be a pillar of AEW. One of your pillars is the heavyweight champion, and it means absolutely nothing. He's not doing anything. That's how you know AEW is a trash can company. But that's me going on the AEW tangent. I haven't talked about AEW in a long time because it's the new year, and I'm trying not to hear too much about AEW, honestly. And Tony Khan and his fucking foolery and his lack of knowledge of the wrestling business. But back to the topic at hand, women's wrestling is fucking boring, AEW Pack Smokers. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck about the Bella Twins. I mean, they sexy, but now they want to try to, like, be up to par to all the other women's wrestlers. We don't fucking care about that shit, man. And I said this a million times. And I'll say it over and over and over and over and over and over again. When women watch wrestling, do you think they watch men wrestle because they give a fuck about the wrestling? Or do you think, pause, they are attracted to the men on wrestling? Men not watching wrestling to see Alexa Bliss do a Hurricane Rana. We don't give a fuck about that shit. Ass, titties, pussy. Like, that's it. I hate to be blunt about it and whatever, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. Women's wrestling is boring. It's just boring. If you need a time when you're at a wrestling show to go take a piss or to go get a hot dog or go to get a fucking beer or go fucking suck on your wife's titties, just put a women's match on. Now, maybe not a Bianca Belair match or a Charlotte Flair match, but Becky Lynch versus Bayley, piss break. Tegan Nox and Liv Morgan versus Io Shirai and Dakota Kai, hot dog break. Like, go get a fucking hot dog. Hot dog break. That's what that shit is. I mean, yeah, Scarlett Bordeaux is Scarlett. You know, we all know. We all know. But watching her versus Emma, it's time to go suck on your wife fucking titty break. Like, this shit's boring. And they wonder why Bianca Belair been the champion so long, because there's nobody else who really is of her caliber besides Charlotte Flair, and she's the champion on SmackDown. Becky Lynch become the champion? Boring. Liv Morgan become the champion? Liv Morgan is attractive as hell, but her charisma is just, her mic skills are just. Alexa Bliss as a champion. I mean, it's cool. Like, I fucks with it. I like Alexa Bliss. She's sexy. She's attractive. Good charisma. Good talker. But they keep forcing her to be with Bray Wyatt. Let Bray Wyatt do his thing with the Wyatt family. Keep Alexa Bliss out of that shit. Like, she don't need to be in there. It didn't work out last time. It did not work out last time. So how in the motherfucking fuck is it going to work out this time? I'm just confused. At the end of the day, women's wrestling is boring. Who gives a fuck if People want them to be on Raw more. We don't give a damn shit. NXT had a whole motherfucking hour or 2 hours or however long NXT is of women's wrestling. So we don't need that shit on Raw. We don't give a fuck about what the Bellas talk about. We don't give a fuck about what any of these SJWs talk about on Twitter. At the end of the day, we want to see sexy women, titties, and ass. And just like women want to see men in tight-ass drawers and six-packs and abs and things and pecs and arms. So, and I guess some women like men's butts too. I don't know. Pause. And hey, that's if they like it, they like it. At the end of the day, fuck Tony Khan. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow. Shout out to the AEW pack smokers. Fuck AEW. I'm out this bitch.
The richer that you get by yourself, no one can tell you how much money you can put in the bank. The more that you go